Hey, this is Stephanie Bourbon. Thanks for coming back to my channel. Yesterday when I recorded my video, I had a bit extra that I cut out, but I think it works well as a supplement. So here is an extra video for you this week, and I hope you like it. So one of the reasons that I work on the plot first before the characters or the dialogue or the words is because for me, the plot is the story, is what you're telling. Now, the characters have to be solid, and anybody who knows me, if you've read any of my work or if you know anything about me, I am a character-driven writer. It's just who I am. That being said, being a character-driven writer does not mean that I forget about plot. Plot is important. Plot is what is helping those characters go through their story. So this is why for me, when I start revising, I start looking at plot. I start thinking about plot holes. What's not working? Is the continuity off? Are things being resolved too easily? Especially in comedy, the plot is really important. Even if you're a character-driven writer and not an action-driven writer, it's still important. So this is why for me, I start with the plot. And then I will go to the character. And I spend a long time on the characters because it's like the voice has to be right, the dialogue has to be right, their motivations have to be right. It's just something that this is the way that I do it. I do plot first, then character. Words for me when I am revising are DFL. They are the last thing that I worry about. And I know that goes against everything because we are writers and our tool is our tool is using words, right? They are important, and I'm not saying that they're not, and I'm not saying that grammar's not or anything, but for me, they are last. That is the icing on the cake. I mean, last. We're talking 7, 8, 9, 10 revisions in when I start going, okay, what are my word choices? How many times on this page did I use the word that, or did I use look, or did I use any of those words that are taboo? How many times did I say smiled? Things like that are really important, but for me, and my advice to you is to do them at the very, very end, not at the beginning. So many writers I know, even really good friends of mine, focus so much on the words early on. And even in critique groups that I've been in, when we're swapping papers, people, and I'm like, what is the story working? Is the emotions there? And they're like, what if you change a sentence like this? I don't like that wording. And I'm just not there yet. And it's, again, to me, story comes first. And story and character, and even being a character-driven writer, I believe that plot is first. So that is why I am recommending that you go through the steps in the Plot Whisperer book and really focus on plot. Now, even though next week I'm going to be talking about character, this is not something that you can do in a week. This can take a year, it can take more, even if you're a fast writer, to really nail the plot down and get it working. Some people do it faster. I have a friend who wrote a book and she did it in 6 weeks and it was published and it's a huge bestseller. It does happen, but I don't count on it. Don't count on being that fast with it. Really focus on your plot and your revisions. Now, if you are a person who likes to outline, you can use the Plot Whisperer workbook or Save the Cat or any of the ones that you love and start structuring your book and plot it out first. For me, I'm a pantser, so I like to let the characters sort of drive the story. I always have an idea of where they're going and what's going to happen and sort of the theme of the book and the style. Is it a comedy? Is it a drama? And I'm going back to writing comedy because honestly, I'm just a lot happier when I'm writing comedy. I love writing comedy. So the last book I just finished last week, NaNoWriMo, is a comedy, and I am starting to find plot holes already just using these methods that I've talked about. So I really hope that it's helpful, and I hope that this makes sense, and I will see you next week when I will talk about revising your characters. And I hope you have an awesome day. Happy writing!